back here at Moorabbin Airport this morning, and today I'm going to be tracing the outline of the Aboriginal flag using this plane.
And do me a favour with this one video if you can, is watch this video right through to the end, and if there's any adverts in this video, please do me a favour and watch the adverts, because what I'm going to be doing is giving away all the advertising revenue I make from this video to a charity here in Australia called Bridging the Gap, which works to help Indigenous Australians with matters of education and matters of health, and they run some really cool projects here in Australia to help out. I'll put a link down to their page down below so you can check them out as well, but anything that I make through advertising revenue here on this video, I'll come back in about a month's time and I'll collect the revenue up and I'll make a donation. There's Tango for Past Sierra in front of me. I remember taking that to Long Reach a couple of years ago.
Echo Yankee Zulu, clear for takeoff.
Clear takeoff, Echo Yankee Zulu. Alright, leaving Moorabbin, Tango for Past Sierra is out my right window there, heading out to the bay. Slowing us down. I don't think we're going too fast on this. I actually want us to be going. We'd normally cruise at something like 160 knots in Echo Yankee Zulu, but I don't want to be doing a fast speed right now because it's actually going to ruin what we're trying to do here in terms of drawing a picture in the sky, right? We've departed Moorabbin now. I'm levelled off at 2,500 feet. If you're new to the channel, just very quickly, hi, I'm Steph. This is Echo Yankee Zulu. It's a Cirrus SR22, single engine, small plane. I'm just flying out of Melbourne here in Australia, and yes, like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm planning to trace the outline of the Aboriginal flag using my flight path here over the bay in Melbourne. And we're coming up to our first waypoint.
Start it up.
First thing I'm going to do is draw an outline of the Aboriginal flag. I'm just going to trace that on a bit of paper. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it actually onto AvPlan EFB, and there's this really cool feature in AvPlan where you can annotate or draw on top of the map, and then with a ruler, and then once you've got that actual outline drawn on the map, what you can do is turn each of the key points into waypoints. And then once I got the waypoints and the basic flight plan set out in AvPlan, all I need to do is export that to Garmin Pilot.
And then once I've got the flight plan here in Garmin Pilot, all I need to do is go up to here, go send to, and when I come here in the flight plan, look at all these user waypoints that are in here, and when I look at this on my multi-function display and zoom in, then that's hopefully the pattern that we're going to end up drawing in the sky. So I'm going to make my first turn to the left and we're going to start drawing the outside, hopefully the outline of this flag.
Avalon approach, Cessna 172, Papa Foxtrot uniform, 2,500.
Alright, we've made our first turn, so we've come down one side of the flag. We're now going along the southern side of the flag, so this is a track of 258. I've got heading for about 264 because I do have a bit of a wind from the right hand side here at the moment. So because of the drift, you can't just point yourself straight down, otherwise the aircraft's going to drift to the left and the line isn't going to be straight. So we actually have to turn into the wind and fly along in a kind of crabbing motion just so we draw a nice straight line here. The main reason I'm doing this over Port Phillip Bay, which is our main kind of body of water here in Melbourne, is obviously because of traffic. There's not a lot of traffic that goes directly across the bay. A lot more people go around the outside of the bay, but I've decided to do this flying. It's all in uncontrolled airspace here, so I'm not in Class C controlled airspace, that's above me. So I'm at 2,500 feet over the water because there's not as much traffic that goes through here. I'm keeping a really close watch on traffic all the time at the moment as we're going to make our turn to the right here. And that's where I'm wearing my life jacket as well, so if anything does happen, I am in gliding distance to land as we are on this side off the drawing, but once we get into the middle parts of the flag, I obviously will be outside of gliding distance. So I've got a life jacket on. I've also got my Garmin InReach, which is my little device here, which you can see, which I can use to alert people of my position if I need to, and I've got Melbourne Centre tuned in on the radio, so if anything does happen. Plus I have a backup EPIRB here, which is another response beacon which I can use and trigger if I want to get some additional help. So I've planned this to assume the worst may possibly happen. Coming along the northern side of the flag now, I'm just keeping an eye just visually here in AvPlan EFB as well. I'll put it up on the screen so you can see. But it's really useful just having this this track plotted out in AvPlan as well. so I can kind of visually use that as a bit of a backup to make sure that it's a bit of an idiot check, just to make sure that the pattern I'm drawing is actually correct. But it's looking pretty good at the moment, actually. I do have traffic alerts that I can get on the avionics here in Echo Yankee Zulu. So if an aircraft does have an ADS-B transponder and it comes within proximity of our aircraft, I will get an alert. But you've got to assume there could be other aircraft out here
just another
that don't have ADS-B. I'm just going to disable the autopilot at this point. It's been helping me fly some of these tracks up until now because I don't want it to turn too early on this part off the flag, otherwise it's going to leave a little gap. And I want to try and square off the edges of the flag if I can, so I'm just holding this one by hand and I'll judge this turn. I'll do now, so I'm trying to do this a little bit steeper. So turning to 258. And just by flying this by hand, I can actually get a better, there we go, well, somewhat better. There's going to be a little kink in the corner there, I bet, when I look back at this afterwards. Oh, and that's the other thing. I'm not going to be able to see how effective this actually is in terms of the ADS-B track that you get in an application like Flight Radar until I'm back on the ground. But hopefully I can get it as good as possible. Okay, here comes the interesting bit. Now we're going to come up to the part where we're going to draw the circle in the middle of the flag. So it's going to be a turn to the left to start with, and then an almost constant rate of turn with drift correction.
Civil uniform
to the right.
now establishing class Golf airspace, no reported IFR trophy for your descent.
Alright, constantly turning to the right then. 233.
Zulu uniform Delta safety alert, so there's VFR traffic observed just left of your 12 o'clock position, 4 miles, 2,500 feet, unverified. It's presently tracking northeast bound. You will come quite close in 1 minute.
Looking for traffic, Zulu uniform Delta.
VFR station in the middle of the bay, there is a Seminole to the east-northeast of you, 3 miles, same altitude. You actually turn towards that aircraft.
Copy the traffic, it's Echo Yankee Zulu, and we're just orbiting present position. We can descend now, we'll do that, Echo Yankee Zulu.
Have you got the opposite direction traffic inside is going to be quite close, is 2 miles, 12 o'clock.
Traffic inside, Echo Yankee Zulu.
Echo Yankee Zulu, thank you.
So that was a little bit unfortunate. I think what's going to happen is the top of the circle that I'm drawing might be a little bit outstretched because I just had to level my wings for a second there to check where that other traffic was. Obviously, when you're doing something like this, safety is always number one. Safety is always number one in an aircraft, regardless of what you're doing. But just to make sure that that aircraft, I had him in sight, and then I could separate myself. I may have just made the top of the circle slightly ovoid. Alright, we're coming to the end of the circle. We've actually flown it 1.5 times because I have to get back to this point on the flag again. Make our way to draw the final line on the flag, which will just be the east to west line that connects the edge of the sun in the middle of the Aboriginal flag to the left-hand side.
Good morning, survey 24.
And then I'm going to fly off down the coast and head back to Moorabbin. As we come up across the last waypoint, that's the last waypoint, so hopefully, and I have no idea how that's going to look, that's hopefully how you draw the Aboriginal flag in the skies over Melbourne's Port Phillip Bay using a big paintbrush with a propeller on the front. One question you may be asking is why am I doing this? Well, there's a couple of reasons. I'll start with the small reason first, and that is this is something that I've wanted to try. I wanted to try and see how accurately I can draw an image in the sky, how I can actually physically fly something like that. So I wanted to test my equipment and myself. But the main reason, of course, is I wanted to somehow tie what I do here on this channel with aviation into the fact that I publicly want to come out there and say I support the Black Lives Matter movement. I want to show respect for the lands that I fly over and the traditional owners of those lands that I'm really privileged to be able to fly over. I already fly the Aboriginal flag on the aircraft. I've done that for some time now. Hopefully these sorts of videos and these messages help just to push the point that I really do believe in equality and unity, and I believe that actions speak louder than words, so I didn't want to just tweet about it or put something on Instagram. I thought coming out today I can actually do something to help raise a bit of awareness, and through the advertising revenue that this video makes, which I will give back to charity, hopefully financially help a little bit as well.
Traffic 1 o'clock,
Yankee
low
Zulu, clear to
less
land.
than 1
Clear to land,
mile.
Echo Yankee Zulu.
Alright, back in the ground here at Moorabbin Airport. This is the first time I've looked at this since I've landed, so let's have a look at what the flight track looks like from that recent flight. Let's go to Echo Yankee Zulu, go back to playback, and fingers crossed, if we zoom out a little bit and go into the bay, there it is. It's not bad. Look, I'll be honest, it's a little bit messy. I probably could have done the corners a little bit better, and I can see here in the top of the circle where I had to look out for that other traffic and turn around. But look, the principle is there, and to be honest, yeah, I'm actually, you know what, for a first effort, I'm not too disappointed with that. I'm actually quite happy with what I've done, and the main thing is people will see that now, because that's obviously public. People will see that and hopefully wonder what's going on, hopefully watch this video, and hopefully click on that link down below to see if they can help as well. It would really help me, just before I go, if you could share this video as well. The more people that watch it, the more advertising revenue it will make, and obviously then when I come back and donate that money to the charity that I spoke about earlier, then it's just going to mean there's more money that we can give away as a community. So look, please do share this, and look, thank you very much for helping me with something that I'm very passionate about. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.